Hey there, everyone, and welcome to my talk show called Allowed to Talk. And yesterday, my show was on puppies, and my puppy's doing well. I just want to let you know. And she'll be 4 months old. And I just want to finish up with that show saying she chews a lot, and this is her favorite toy. And the arms are like this, and you can pull the string through. And she chews and pulls and tugs, and the feet were like this exactly, but longer with this cord, and she chewed the cord. But I'm finishing up sewing the shoes back on Mickey because she tore this rope part all up, and it's taken out now. And any place she had a bite mark, I sewed it because it's her favorite toy. And that's what we do for our puppies. We do things like that. And she has, like I said, about a dozen toys, different things to chew on. But let's get back to today's show. The topic is writing. If you feel like writing a book, or you want to write a book, you like to write, you're allowed to write, just like you're allowed to talk. Now you can change the names of people. You can make it a fiction story, or you can make it a children's story. And you can use a pen name, which a pseudo name, which isn't your real name. A pen name is what you use to write with. And when I wrote my books, I used the pen name K. Dean, Kaydean, K. Dean. And there probably are K. Deans in the world. But that's the pen name I took for my writing. And I wrote several books. The first book I wrote was many years ago, 2001. And that's out of publish now. I paid for that. And it was called Have You Ever Been There? And it was about life in general and why I thought I felt so bad all the time and had no self-worth. And people would abuse and use and say things to me at jobs I was on that were inappropriate. Talk about me like I'm not even there, like in the, like to the person in the same break room about what's going on with the aide when I'm right there and saying things that are rude, crude, ugly, nasty. And I'd never stand up for myself. And if I did, I had to be to the boiling point. And then I looked like a fool because I'd be so mad and so upset. And then other things were said. That goes for my family. That goes for my in-laws. And I am an older woman now. But sometimes you learn the truth later in life. Like I was 56 when I found out about narcissistic personality disorder. And that's all I'll say about that. But I'm going to tell you that I wrote books, and they're available on Amazon.com if you'd like to read any of them. They range from like $5.99 to $9.99. In fact, I'm not even sure if I have them at $9.99 anymore. So if you're interested in any of my books that I wrote under K. Dean, the first one I wrote is Where the Sidewalk Stops. It's about nurturing my inner child. And the reason I wrote it was after narcissistic abuse by someone that I was close to at one time, but never again. It's no contact for the rest of my life with that person. And anyone who doesn't believe it or treat me with respect. And that's a lot of people. And I won't be around them. It'll be no contact, no matter what excuses are made. It's like I was nothing and nobody, and it doesn't matter about, and I'm not a victim, I was a target more than anything. So if you care to read this book, it's on Amazon.com under K. Dean and Where the Sidewalk Stops, about nurturing my inner child. And the second book I wrote is a children's reader book about friends. The colors of animals we see. Some are, I don't have my glasses on. Some are pets that belong to me. And I made it different. I put the black cat on it. It's orange with, or yellow, like a mustard yellow with a black cat. It's like a second, third grade reader. And the story's about animals, the different colors of what animals can be. And I made this a pink fish. And that's under K. Dean also. And it's a children's reader. Then I wrote this book under K. Dean, You Are Enough. And it's about being enough when you're a child and when you're an adult. That you have to learn that people aren't all going to like you and you can't always please people. But you are enough. It's for children. It's not written technically like I would try to explain this to you, but you are enough. And people with narcissistic personality disorder are really lower self-esteem than I was, but I didn't know that growing up. And this book I wrote is Who Took My Self-Esteem? Trolls are like inner... Let me put my glasses on because I'm doing terrible at this reading. As you know, I put my glasses on when I sang the Yodel song the other show. And if you're interested in that, it's one of my earlier shows. Inner critics are like trolls. Who took my self-esteem? Inner critics are like trolls by K.D. And that was me when I was being Mrs. McGillicuddy years ago when I found out, 2016, about narcissistic personality disorder. And like I said, they're hurting worse than us, but they compensate. The nasty ones are outright nasty, and then the overt ones are outright nasty, and the covert ones they have a target that they pick to get supply from. And this book is why I was searching for validation. Who Took My Self-Esteem, if you're interested, by K.D. and it's on Amazon.com. Then the last book I wrote, I titled the first, before I had published it first, under The Affairs of the Family. And it talked about all the truth of my life as growing up. And it's through my eyes. And it's all the truth, but I changed names. But because I put pictures of some of my family on it, I had to change the front and use a picture that I drew from a children's book I wrote for my grandchildren called Red and Fred, but I don't have that here because that's under my name Catherine. So K.D., I wrote this book, Marriage, Mind, Funk, and Mindfulness. And it's about my childhood and people in my life. I changed all the names because of lawsuits, because when I had a video where I showed a picture of someone that was an abusive person that used all my hurts that I told her over the years to get me back for something I said. And if it wasn't for that reason, then there was something going on that I thought might have been going on. Or she's just evil and cruel, a toxic person. What you take your pick. But because of lawsuits, I changed everyone's name from my family in this book called Marriage, Mind, Funk, and Mindfulness by K.D. Infidelity and Addictions by K.D. That's me. That's my pen name. Because I changed the names of everyone, even myself. I'm Kay. And I'm really Catherine. And I'm afraid of a lawsuit because I was threatened with a lawsuit by someone in the family. And I'm afraid of that from some of my other family members or them again. And because we have nothing, I like them to go ahead and do a lawsuit. And we could lose our $40,000 house and our car that we still owe $16,000 on. And we have a truck that's worth like $2,000. And I'm on Social Security, so go ahead and press the lawsuit. Because their homes and their properties are worth 10 times what ours are. And if they want to suck everything out of us, go right ahead. That's what I'm saying. Because I'm tired of it. I'm done with it. And it's no contact, like I said. If you want to know about someone who can be abused narcissistically and how that can happen and what the people in my life, and it's written from my own eyes, but it's the truth. It is the truth. It's the truth. I'm saying my family, a lot of them, in this book when I wrote about Who Took My Self-Esteem, I'm not saying it was intentional. They did things for me. I had stuff given to me. I had a home to sleep in, a bed to sleep in, a food on the table, but it's still unintentionally I was shoved aside. I was the lost child. I was the scapegoat a lot. And unintentionally, it wasn't good enough to raise me properly, to have good self-esteem and not to be abused. The target, not a victim, but a target of someone who is overt narcissistically. And there was covert. The ones who are very sneaky about it. They're vulnerable. They're not vulnerable. They're so fragile. And then the overt one is someone in my family too, is a nasty person who never did anything wrong, no matter what. She'd take over, and if it was wrong, it wasn't her. It was projected onto someone else or turned around by somebody else, or it's you, because you wait so long to get angry about things, and then you were the crazy. So if you're interested in any of my books, I welcome you to check on Amazon.com under Kay Dean, especially this one about narcissistic abuse, because marriage, mind funk, and mindfulness, which I wasn't mindful, and infidelity and addictions by Kay Dean on Amazon.com. I was very emotionally a mess. I thought you couldn't have emotions, that you weren't allowed to. That, in other words, I thought I was a nobody. So if you're interested in my books, they're on Amazon.com. And I hope you're having a wonderful, great day, and that you learn a lot every day, and that you know you are allowed to talk.